can't lose. No, we can't lose.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Gambling gods, fickle bunch.
Oh, yeah.
So easily affected.
We have a shooter and a good one coming out for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. He's a rolling point is 9, place 9. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
They bet on absolutely anything. Don't make them prove.
The under 21s that are always considered, oh, this is such a problem for the kids and all that, which I'm not saying it's not. I guess I said that kind of snarky, but
Yeah, right. You're tuned in to Gambling with Good JuJu.
welcome in everybody to Gambling with Good JuJu, the show with all the flash of the casino with none of the heartache. Hey, before we kick things off, do us a favor and head on over to YouTube and click that subscribe button for us. You see, folks, let's get serious here for a second.
Oh, please.
We're growing. We're starting to feel ourselves a little bit. And we're talking big on our plans come fall. Every like, follow, subscribe really helps us out. You know, we even saw our merch featured on BetMGM Network last week. Shout out Sammy P, Kate Constable for the kind words about the brand. If you want to get your hands on some of our dope-ass gear, then head on over to goodjujubets.net, click on the merch shop, and show your support. This week, we're getting back to basics.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we are. Getting back to our roots. We've been coming hard with some great guests, dropping great information, but this week, we want to giggle more. And no one makes us laugh more than each other. We're going to spend this segment talking through our recent adventures with Stevie, who just sold his Wash-O-Rama and said, boys, we need some steaks and gambling to celebrate.
Oh, my favorite type of celebration.
If you want to hear more from Stevie, by the way, then head on over to the best named YouTube channel ever, www.carssuck.com, no periods. And yes, he is so old, he put www and com in his YouTube handle.
Roll the graphic.
We're going to have to put up that graphic. Yep.
Friend of the show.
He's a great friend of the show. And we had a great time. We made new friends, and we have stories to tell.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Additionally, we're breaking down the recently released Bet Bash seminar schedule, talking about the presentations and podcasts we're most excited to catch, and seeing which topics tickle the taint.
Tickle me spanky.
Right in the taint.
You goof.
All right. Enough with the screwing around. Let's dive into it.
All right, real quick, before we get into that, I actually got you a small little gift. Let's call it a Father's Day gift.
What?
Yeah, so I can go grab that out of the bag and you'll edit this up and make it all pretty, but...
Oh, baby, what is this?
I know you're into records, and I know you're kind of into gambling, so I got you a classic Kenny Rogers, The Gambler, 12-inch vinyl. Picked that up the other day at the record store.
Oh my goodness. Kenny Rogers, The Gambler. What does this include on it?
It includes that one song we all know.
It includes The Gambler.
I have no idea what the other
I don't know, but there's another song on here called Making Music for Money.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's a good one. There's another one called Tennessee Bottle.
Okay.
That's going to be a classic.
Classic for sure. But I couldn't help but pick that up for you, so there you go, bud.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, shout out our buddy Walt, who came to town to visit us.
The Jet Cow, yeah.
Yeah.
L. Walt, if you will.
L. Walt.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with El Patron.
Yeah. Okay.
That was Pablo Escobar.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, El Patron was Pablo Escobar.
Is that why they call it Patron Tequila?
I just got done listening to a 4-part podcast on it.
Yeah. So I thought that was a fun thing. I'd bring that to you for the show and surprise you. But yeah, also to you alluded to the fact, shout out Darren in Texas. Thank you very much for hitting the store. And our buddy Grant, aka Turd Ferguson, hit the store. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. And also wears the merch in his media hits. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
It is the coolest thing ever that he bought merch, given if he had just messaged us, we would have.
Shout out Grant.
Thank you, Grant. We absolutely love it. All right, let's get down to business. First, Juice, we need to discuss our Friday night. And before we talk about your foolproof AP slots plays that burn me real good,
Oh, boy.
let's talk dinner.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And here's why. Because it goes to highlight the benefits you can get from a casino before you even step on it. Our buddy Stevie is known for his regular appearances at the Paradise, enough so that he is in good with his casino host.
Shout out the host.
Shout out the host, because here's what happened. He tried to book us a reservation through him, but his host didn't reply like within a day or whatever. So he did the craziest thing I've ever heard of in 2025. Do you know what that is?
Oh, do tell. He's an old guy. I don't know.
He picked up a phone.
A telephone.
He called a restaurant and booked a time for us. Well, lo and behold, his host gets back to him the day of the dinner, apologizes for the slow reply, and comps our entire dinner for us.
Yeah.
Not even earned through play, folks. Earned by simply being in the good graces of the host. It was quite a dinner. What'd you think of it, Juice?
It was absolutely phenomenal dinner, and I felt fantastic afterwards.
Did you struggle to gamble because of it?
I struggled to keep drinking the beers Jolly St. Vic was buying.
We'll get to Jolly St. Vic in a minute here.
Right.
But I was impressed that I survived eating crab cakes, pretzel sticks, a 16-ounce ribeye, a giant potato, deep fried Oreos, and chocolate cake.
Yeah. Roll the graphic. Shout out William B's is technically the name, right?
Yeah.
William B's in Paradise Casino. Thank you for the wonderful meal, a great service.
Stevie asked a great question of me when I was there. What's the most decadent fair food you've ever eaten?
Oh, yeah.
And I was basically just like, I mean, I've had deep fried Oreos, and this is definitely the grossest thing we eat. That we love. It was delicious.
They were absolutely fantastic. And
absolutely
shout out
fantastic.
Nikki, the waitress, for being like, hey, you guys got $40 more. You better get some dessert.
Right. We each got steaks, potatoes, appetizer, and we still hadn't spent enough money that was comped to us by the end of the meal. So she was like, here, just get some dessert. And we were all like, we're too full for dessert.
And we got a couple. So
she got us 2 desserts.
And we finished.
And we ate them. We sure did.
Yeah. I mean, man, those deep fried Oreos, I might make the stop there just to get those.
Yeah.
You didn't even pay money for them.
I know.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
So that's the great thing. If you go to the casino regularly, you kind of find yourself slipping into these other plus EV opportunities.
Very plus EV.
It was fantastic dinner. All right. Let's get to our time in the casino.
Yeah.
Because I have a little bit of a gripe.
Yeah. So slot machines, are you in, pal?
Buffalo Ascension. It's in an AP. Let's start here. It's at an AP state a lot at the boat.
It sure is.
Is it like always
No.
that way?
And by the time we left, they were all like 1,200.
Okay.
Yeah.
There were like 4 times we found it in an advantage play state.
That is uncommon.
You played it once, and then I played it 3. You played it twice.
Yes.
I played it 3 times.
And technically, I played it 3 times.
Oh, okay.
Because I hit the big win, and then I played some down on the second step.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this, folks. I went 1 for 3. And the first time I played it, I kept dumping money in, and I was pretty sure after I got above like $40 that whatever I hit wasn't going to be worth $40. And I played it all the way to 100, and then I walked away from it because I had lost $100 in that machine. So maybe we need to discuss an exit point on these grab and goes.
Well, I think you've defined it there as a grab and go, correct?
Is it?
I don't know. Like, here's the
It's
thing.
a quick hitter machine, is it not?
I would not sit down and play a slot machine for a lot of money ever.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I believe you on that. It's not a grind machine where they have to like pay out a big jackpot at the end.
Right.
It just has to go back down to the lower ways. So I actually believe here was the other problem. Like, you keep playing the $1 denominations when they're in advantage state.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I put in like $20-25.
Yep.
And then this was a $2 denomination.
Right. So you got to play 50.
Yeah.
Then you doubled it.
So I put in 40. Then I put in 60, and then I was like, this number is crazy high.
This is totally going to hit.
And it didn't hit by 100. And then apparently no one actually checked slot machines in Peoria, because then I went back to it like an hour later.
Yeah.
And it was still in an advantage state.
Yeah.
And then it hit for me pretty quickly. And you know how much I profited? $17.
Not off the entire night, but just off the second
The
time.
second time I went, I made $17 profit.
I think that's the gag. I think, you know, I got my little tiny list of slot machines that I know how to check by sight right now, right? I think it's like put $20 in. If you're lucky, you get 30 out.
And if you're not, walk away.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, granted, I did much better than that the first time.
Well, you keep telling me you're like 5 for 5 on hitting these things when we show up at the boat. And then you walk away, of course, without me when I first get there.
Oh my gosh, it was so great. I'm walking back to find you guys, and you're like, he's already putting money in his wallet. That's exactly what you said to me. And I'm like, yep. You snooze, you lose.
I'm supposed to be the slots guy.
Well,
I mean, I'm not.
Yeah,
but I'm supposed to be.
I can't believe it wasn't the first thing you did when you got on the Paradise was check the Buffalo Ascension like I did.
I went and got a cup of coffee because I was so exhausted from eating 4,000 calories in one meal.
Yep.
And you just went and did it.
I just went.
I definitely turned to Stevie and Jolly St. Vic and said, I'm already mad at RJ and we've been on the boat for 5 minutes.
He's already win too much.
It's not that you win too much. It's that you ditched me for what would have been my favorite part of the boat.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
All right. All right. Now, we're not going to get in a fight this episode.
Jesus.
Calm down. Calm down.
All right. So,
okay. So we got an exit plan figured out then.
I think $20 bill.
36 ways, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Am I allowed to say this on air?
3,200. I don't know. Who cares?
36
don't go to the
ways.
Paradise.
Right? That's what you're looking for on the denominations.
So. Yeah.
And if you get it, don't put more than $20 in it.
And if you follow all those rules, maybe someday you'll win $10.
And I would say it's in increments. Like I would have been comfortable losing $40 on the $2 denomination.
Sure. I think that's appropriate.
I'd have been comfortable. Like if I was, what does it go up to? 5? I mean, 10?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
yeah,
whatever it
there's
is.
probably multiple dollar spins possible.
Use that multiplier, people.
Also, if you're interested in slot machines, you probably know more about them than we do. Why don't you call us and tell us how to do it?
Oh my gosh, yes. Please go to the website. If you know of any other slot machines at the Paradise, because what? We got Regal Riches.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're just going to blow them all up, huh?
Oh. Well, trust me, Regal Riches is never in an advantage state because no one ever plays it. So there you go.
Because everybody knows how to check it.
Yeah. Buffalo Ascension, people are always playing it.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why it gets to an advantage state so often. So just
theories.
Tips, people. If you're the kind of person looking for AP slot plays, 1, you know way more than us about it. And 2,
segment over.
You should still exercise discipline in your play.
Yeah, and I do watch, shout out Jay Fructose. I watch some of his YouTubes. He just walks around casinos and puts money in them.
How about the grocery gambler? We followed this guy on YouTube. He's got like 10 subscribers, which is great. And he went and put a machine. He goes to grocery stores and gas stations and plays their gambling machines and then makes videos out of it.
Awesome.
He did 10 machines for 10 subscribers. He got to 10 subscribers. So he goes to this bank of machines and he plays there's like 8 of them. He played 8 of them and then came back and played 2 more.
Genius.
Great job. Love you, grocery gambler.
Shout out
wait
the grocery
to see what
gambler.
you do.
Yeah.
All right. So lost money there. Then you ditch me again as I'm burning through $100 and you go over to the blackjack table.
Well, I tell you what, I had to stop watching eventually.
It was getting uncomfortable.
Because you're just like looking at me like, am I doing it right yet, Dad? And I'm like, I don't know, man.
No. Do you think you're about to win the jackpot?
Right.
Well, there's nothing else that's going to hit bigger.
But anyway, okay. So I did walk away a couple times, but I hope you had fun.
So tell me, because you went to the blackjack table before me. What's the tone when you sit down at this blackjack table?
I mean, it was fine, right? Because,
fine.
I'm showing up and I'm here to have a good time. Well, I will say the whole table turned. So, things aren't going well when that happens, right? At the $10 table on Friday night, right?
Oh, like everyone was getting up.
There was 4 spots.
Yeah.
Out of the blue.
Yeah.
So, me and Jolly St. Vic sit down.
Oh, he's great. How many hands did it take for Jolly St. Vic to start cussing?
Dude, it's so uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable.
I hope you still listen to the show, Jolly St. Vic, but man.
Jeez. You should have seen how much we talked about you when you stood up, bud.
This poor lady is just trying to deal cards. And it's like, Blah, 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 blah.
Audience.
F-bomb.
I think it's important to note it's not actually the dealer's fault if you're not winning.
Gambler pro tip.
I mean,
The
seriously.
dealer wants you to win.
The dealer would like the tips that come with winning.
Yeah, that's funny.
I won.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I won at Blackjack. I had a good run. I was getting a lot of Blackjacks early, which was nice.
That's good. I did kind of unveil, if you will, my new betting strategy. And that was my first like in the wild run.
Okay.
I like it, and I made a couple tweaks. I think it's almost ready for production.
Can you give us a brief overview?
So it's just, I'm going to give you the goals of the betting strategy. 1, lock in a quick profit
Okay.
and leave. 2, it has a little bit of a regressive betting step. So when you win, you don't just like keep betting more and more and more. And
Okay.
it's got like a negative progressive. So if you lose, it's like 1 step. If you lose, you bet more.
So if you lose, you go up. If you win, you go down.
Yeah, it's like hella complicated, but it's only like you only ever bet 1 unit or 2 units.
Well,
And then
Since you're doing such a good job of explaining this,
Yeah.
do you remember where you found it?
no, I kind of made it up. I kind of cooked it up out of all my favorite parts of strategies, and I just removed all the steps I don't like betting weird amounts or betting like a crap ton of money. So I kind of just cooked up my own.
So will we see the real juicy system posted to the website someday?
Oh yeah, for sure. So
Okay.
shout out Big CV. He's working on the draft with me because I tried to type it up to explain it to him, and he was just like, "I'm gonna have to read this 10 times."
Well, once you get it typed up, I'll
Yeah.
review it and we can get it up on the site then.
But it's doing good in the simulator. It's doing pretty good, and it's quick. That's another key, I think, is you got to be quick.
Yeah. How about our dealer's name was both Kimberly and Gary?
That was very strange. Shout out Kimberly.
She said her dad used to be a dealer there.
Oh,
And it was his name tag
that's his
that she
name.
wears.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I started calling her KGB, Kimberly Gary Blackjack.
Fantastic.
KGB. How you doing?
Yeah, she
She was great.
She was amazing and handled Jolly St. Vic very well, all things considered.
Yeah, and even the other guys at the table handled him pretty well.
Yeah.
Like no one was getting mad, and not everyone was playing what I would say classic preferred blackjack.
Yeah,
it's
by the
fine.
book, as they say.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's
Folks,
totally
that's
fine.
the other tip. Folks, it does not matter. If you think that someone playing sub optimally impacts you, you're wrong.
My favorite is when they yell at you for not playing the Trilux. When,
The
when you would Trilux something, if you would be playing it, right? Like a suit or whatever. It's like, dude, play my Trilux.
Yeah.
And then the dealers yell at me because they're like, he can't play your Trilux. And I'm like, well, I'm going to keep asking him to. To prove my point, to shut the hell up.
Speaking of which, our favorite pit boss Beaker was there that
Shout out
night,
Beaker.
and I gave him quite a bit of grief because he always yells at me whenever I try to take a picture of him.
Yeah, you know what? Miss on our part. We should have taken some gosh darn photos, Beaker or not.
He always yells at me.
Yeah, but we could have taken like some crew photos or something, like
Yeah.
on the balcony, outside.
Yeah, we could have taken some photos.
Yeah.
This is not a good start for us going to Vegas because we have talked about recording a lot of content in Vegas.
All right. So Blackjack, where you at on Blackjack personally?
It's probably become my favorite game in the casino again.
Yeah, good. I think it's a very important game to be able to play.
Like I'm proficient.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to count cards, but I'm going to play correctly.
Yeah. And I'm trying to reel myself back in. That's why I came up with this betting strategy that I'm trying to sort through specifically because I just railroaded a bunch of cash on our Iowa trip and I don't want to ever do that again.
Craps, blackjack, roulette. What's
That's
the
your
order?
hierarchy?
Well, no, what's your height? I'm asking you.
Well, yeah. So it's like, give me $500 and go to the casino.
I mean, I know craps is one.
Craps is one for sure.
Roulette versus blackjack.
Oh, it's definitely Blackjack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then roulette would be third.
I think I'd go blackjack, craps, roulette.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
I
But
got-
they all have their place. They all have their place in my heart, and they all have their place in my casino evening.
I just feel like the flow of money out of my account is a little bit of a slower burn at a blackjack table than it is at a craps table.
Oh, it totally is.
You know?
I mean, imagine if you just bet $10 on every roll, it would go a lot slower.
And roulette is probably the most boring. I mean, like we've introduced some new strategies that have definitely made it more fun than boring.
News.
But it is, out of the three, the most boring.
You got to really be ready to socialize at that table.
Yeah. You got to have something in you to be able to sit there and enjoy that.
The cocktails are coming quick and you're like socializing like crazy. That's when roulette is king.
But I believe it is all of Michelle, Christy, and Lisa's favorite game, right?
That's possibly true. Yeah.
Possibly. I know it's Christy and Michelle's favorite game. I don't know about Lisa.
Yeah, I bet they probably would also say they like to socialize more than gamble. So that could check out.
That's why it is.
All right, what else did we play?
So I passed on the craps altogether since after playing Blackjack, I was pretty happy to settle for a small down evening and take in Juice's bankroll building session at the craps table. Before you explain this, let me say this. My favorite part of the entire evening might have been you telling everyone that you just needed 2 more numbers and you were good.
That's a good line.
Except you probably got about 10 more numbers while you kept saying you only needed 2 more numbers.
Sorry.
Which you only stopped saying it because the 7 finally came.
Yeah, and then I got the hell out of there.
You were definitely looking around. And why don't you explain your session there a little bit? What happened?
All right, so I was down a little bit, like 100 beans and like a $300 buy-in, right? And this creepo next to me, it's like he just kept complaining about everything. And then the next sentence would like brag about how much money he won some other day. And it's like, dude, what are you talking about? And so he's just blah, 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 blah about the guy in the hat. He's the good shooter. And everybody's jumping in front of him and like making all these bad rolls. So it's like, okay, let's wait for the guy in the hat, the good shooter, right? And so I do. And then I go in on it and I do like my new favorite $10 strategy, which is the triple D off the Casino Quest. Roll the graphic. It's complicated. We're not going to get into that, but it is a pretty aggressive strategy. So I go into that and it goes freaking fantastic. So by the time he rolled the 7, I had won back the 100 I lost. I was 200 in profit and I had 270 on the table.
Let me ask this. What is more uncomfortable in your opinion for maybe not you because you know Jolly St. Vic, but for the average experience, the guy next to you at the craps table or Jolly St. Vic next to you at the blackjack table?
Oh my God, Jolly St. Vic for sure.
Because he's loud.
Yeah,
he's
like this guy is like, dude, if you like,
was this guy like mumbling in your ear about it?
Totally the whole time.
Yeah,
he's like these guys can't roll the dice very well. And then the best part is, like, you know, we're halfway through this roll and I got hella cash on the table for us low rollers, and he's like, what are you doing? You just like pressing like every bet or something? And I'm like, no, and I like weirdly explained the whole strategy really quick because I knew he had no idea what was going on. And then he looks at me and goes, oh, I get it. Obviously, he had no idea what I said. And I'm like, hey, bud, you're the one that told me the guy in the hat, like, why are you betting $10 on the pass line only? And he kind of looked at me like, oh, now you're being an asshole. So, yeah, that was fun.
He didn't comment back like, oh, that's smart? Or
no. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I did say that. I said that. Like he took credit for the role. I love the paradise.
There is one other thing that I always think the best moments I have at a casino is when I have a conversation with a random stranger. And I found myself in that situation on Friday. Shout out Shannon, I think, from Colorado. He was genuinely impressed with how late the boat is open, which is apparently 6 a.m. I was like, dude, it's open so late. I don't even know exactly what.
I don't even know if they close.
I'm in my 40s now. I can't hang that late.
It's always so much free coffee.
But he was debating moving to Peoria. He's got a mom here. And he had some nice things to say about our little corner of the world.
Shout out Peoria, yeah.
So for a guy who skateboards and snowboards, the willingness to come see our city for what it is, a high quality good time, I was beaming like a proud papa during that conversation. I was. This
That's
guy
awesome.
lives in the Rocky Mountains, and he's like, yeah, you got boating here? There's a river there, and Stevie was with me, and Stevie used to own a boat. What was the name of his boat?
The Naughty Dancer.
The Naughty Dancer.
Nauti. Roll the footage, yeah.
Like nautical.
Yeah, very heady. Very
there
heady.
we go. But he was like, so yeah, I can do that. And he's like, I like to surf on the back of boats on rivers.
Oh yeah, like the little wakeboarding thing.
but not a wakeboard. He said he does full surfboard. And he just gets behind it and it like creates wake and he just like surfs the wake on a real surfboard.
Wow, that's impressive.
So I was like, yeah, dude, you could probably do that here. And
Totally.
he was like, all right, I might do it. I
Yeah.
might move here.
Not to mention your cost of living will be significantly less,
Yes. yes.
despite the high taxes.
We talked quite a bit about that.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
wanted to know the differences between Colorado and Illinois
Hmm.
because I have lived in both states. And I was like,
Expert.
they're kind of similar.
We'll do a whole episode on that later.
No, thank you. We will not.
Casino reviews.
And then that was our night. We headed home fairly at a reasonable time. I don't know if you guys stayed out much later than me, but it sounded like Kurt got home a little after I did. So I don't think you guys stayed.
Yeah.
I mean, we left at the same time. You guys all went straight home, right?
Yeah, we did a little driveway hang at my place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fantastic night. Thank you again to the host, Big Stevie.
Congratulations to Big Stevie on selling the Wash-O-Rama. A big life milestone for you. We're proud of you, bud.
And for the fans and listeners that have been clamoring for more Big Stevie, you'll probably get some in our Bet Bash footage.
Yeah, he's going to come out and hang out in Vegas with us in August when we go to Bet Bash. He's not going to go to Bet Bash because why would he?
Why
not a sports
would
gambler.
any nerd go to Bet Bash?
I understand why. It's not a knock on Bet Bash.
No,
it's
of course,
it's the fact that Stevie's a
course.
casino gambler, not
Yeah.
a sports gambler. So
Yeah. So, all right, that wraps up the night, right?
yeah,
All right, quick segment. Little beep, 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 beep. Vegas news.
okay.
Headline reads, Derek does it again.
Whoa, what
Did you hear about this?
No.
He procured the unofficially named Crazy Girl statue. Do you know this?
I don't know what the crazy girl.
It's
statue
officially
is.
named No If, Ands, or Buts.
Okay.
And it was it was an advertisement for a topless review at the Riviera.
Okay.
And it's like, you've definitely seen it before. It's like 8 girls lined up on their backside and they're just naked and it's
Okay.
bronzed.
Okay.
So he has,
Oh yeah.
you know that.
I
It's like
know that
very
one.
famous. Yeah. So this is moving to Circa.
Oh.
Yeah, it was initially in the Riviera to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the show called Crazy Girls. And then they moved to Planet Hollywood when the show moved there when the Riviera closed. And now Derek Stevens has bought it or something.
Adding more character to downtown.
Added more character
I
to
love it.
downtown. Yeah.
Investing in the downtown scene.
Yeah. They're obviously not having the show because they don't even have a
They
theater.
don't have shows. They have a
Yeah.
sports book. That's their show.
Right. And the pool.
Yeah, and the
And the
pool.
pool, yeah.
The pool and the sports book is their show.
You've been working on your pool, bud? I sure have hell been working on mine.
Uh-oh. I think I'm going to be watching in the sports book this year.
Oh, boy.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I got a couple months still to figure it out.
And the good news is it's just a bunch of old dudes anyway.
I'm sure I can replace 30 pounds of fat with muscle in 2 months.
No problemo.
All right.
All right. Thanks for letting me get that in.
Speaking of which, our other
Yeah.
topic for the day is talking Bet Bash. We're going to run through this schedule and give our thoughts on which ones we're most interested in attending. First off, a few things we like that we saw right away. There are 6 different hours of breakout sessions, and they've got an hour break
Yeah, that's
in
nice.
between each of those sessions.
Yeah.
Whereas last year they were kind of like you go 15 minutes, you go to another 15 minutes. Now you got time to breathe, talk about it, interact with the guys who are hosting or gals who are hosting, and kind of marinate on it a little bit.
a lot more socializing ability. You know, it was like even awkward to go get lunch last year.
Yeah.
Like you really had to hustle to do it, and
Yeah.
you basically couldn't leave Circa. So I definitely appreciate the breaks for sure.
Yeah.
That's a nice ad.
I'm looking for that. But just a few things to know. There are 6 different hours of breakout sessions. Each hour gives you 5 different presentations or podcasts to choose from. So there are a total of 30 sessions during this. We aren't going to talk through each one, but let's talk through which presentations or podcasts we're most interested in attending during each of the blocks.
Yeah,
of time.
cool.
Does that sound good?
Yeah. And great job to Spanky for putting this together. Certainly is probably a tall order, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he puts a ton of work into this.
And I do definitely love what he's done with the podcast schedule, particularly this year.
Yeah, they got big names.
Yeah, so I'm definitely just throwing it out there before we chat that like I may just go to all the podcasts. I don't know.
I don't hate it, especially for us as podcasters.
Yeah, it's like see the boys.
Connect with see the boys. Connect with others in the space is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And just for the folks, if you're following along on YouTube, you can see the full schedule listed here. If you're listening along with us, we sure do appreciate you. Maybe head on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Check out the episode to see the full list of seminars, which are popping up on your screen right now.
Bing, 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 bing.
All right. Session block number 1. What are you going to be attending during the first session for right now?
I am a huge fan of Bill Krakenberger. So, you know, I first saw him on Showtime, Action Showtime, the series. I enjoy his show. He's got a pretty serious production now with John Orlando, I think, right?
Yeah.
From the Action Junkies podcast. So they're going to be doing their show live. So
Yeah.
I got to probably guess I'm going to be going to that.
If I don't go to the college football preview show, that's absolutely where I'd go. But, you know, we're working on our own college football model. I'm a college football junkie.
Yeah.
Brett McMurphy and Tim Murray, who are hosting that particular session, are 2 names that I'd like to meet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'd like to hear what they have to say. And if any one of them brings a hot take like Brad Powers that Illinois will underperform, well, I'm coming after you, boys.
Yeah, like you maybe bring the air horn.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
You better not be talking about my Illini.
And I'm glad you said, like, you know, meet those guys. Like, that's what a lot of this is about. Like,
Yeah,
getting
a
to meet
lot of
people
it's
that
about networking, but you also want to be engaged with whatever the topic is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if it was just like, I want to meet this person and I don't care at all what they're talking about, those are ones I probably won't attend, and maybe I'll hang out outside the seminar room after or something, you know?
Yeah, totally.
But I'm interested in what the college football preview is all about. Not sure that I'm like looking for any specific bets or anything, but
Yeah.
I just want to listen to the boys talk college football.
I am excited to bet on college football this year, so I hope this whole thing works out.
I mean, me too. I'll just leave it at that. All right. Now, I want to go see a podcast for the second set of sessions.
All right.
Because there's this podcast, Sports by the Book podcast, featuring Kenny White and his daughter, Alexandra White. And I'll tell you what, I heard Alexandra talk at last year's conference, and I was very interested in her perspective. Growing up around bookmakers and becoming one herself was fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to hear more. She's up there with her dad. They're going to be talking, you know, bookmaker perspective on things. I always find the bookmaker perspective kind of a interesting one because we get inundated with the gambler's perspective.
I think it's important to understand that side of the house as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said hi to Alex last year. That was fantastic. I've been a fan of her dad's Kenny. You know, they're cool folks.
Yeah, I'm interested. What about you?
So yeah, I probably will go to that one. But I am intrigued by the old Andrew Pace doing the live betting thing with Elf. You know, the live betting thing has been a nut I've been trying to crack just on my own. Andrew like has a In Play Live, I believe is the name of the service, and it's like a little live stream where they watch games together, and like he decides when you bet on stuff. And then like Elf is so polarizing.
Yeah.
Like we'll see what the reaction is on that.
But there's no debating that he's a good live bettor. Like he's been doing that for years.
Yeah.
Very profitably.
Yeah. I mean, he's certainly profitable for sure. Yeah.
So interesting.
It could be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. What about session 3?
So props and hops. I think he was there last year as well. But yeah, pretty cool dude on the podcast front. So I may in fact go to that. But
now, is that a drinking session? Or is that just the name of the pod? Like,
That's
will
the
there
name
be
of the podcast.
drinking during that session?
Oh, that's interesting. I might have messaged him and be like, "Hey, what, are you bringing any?
Is this BYOB? Or
Yeah, what
am
are we
I gonna
doing
have
here?
access to it right there?
What are we doing? We got some fire craft beers.
little flight for all of us, something like that.
Oh, that's great. I mean, that's not crazy because there's a wine tasting thing on the schedule this year.
All right. That is interesting.
That is
by the
very
way.
interesting,
I
yeah.
don't know that I'll be attending that one, but I am intrigued that they have it.
But unfortunately, he's going up against.
Yeah. So look, I'm going to go see it. I want to go check out the scene. Session 3 has, what is it? NFL Futures with the George Riley Panagakis and Matt the Cat Zilbert. And I'll be honest here. I am just going for the spectacle. That is going to be a room full of experienced bettors being asked to treat George as a pearl of wisdom. I'm just intrigued to see how it goes.
I don't know what to expect out of that. That's fascinating.
Like, I thought the whole gag was that he was like, top 5% sports bettor because he claims he hit a few bets 20 years ago. I don't think we've ever seen him be profitable, have we?
I mean, well, if only that one guy would have got comeback player of the year.
He would be a millionaire or whatever. He'd be super rich, but he didn't.
No, I don't know. And it's almost like George and Elf are kind of in their own category of like really big personalities that a lot of people don't like.
Yeah, but like Elf is he was a gambler before he did this Spaces thing. Like he wasn't like known as much. Like he was crazy all his lives betting. Like all the stuff he did was like pretty wild. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But he was known.
He was showing you how to use the tool.
Pretty widely regarded as a real sports gambler who profits. George just puts things in a notebook and then makes it all very confusing so that you never know how he's doing, but you're always pretty sure he didn't do very well.
Value Town. Yeah, who knows, man? But I'm glad they're both going to be on stage and I can't wait to see what it's like.
Do you know anything about Matt Silbert?
I don't. Like, I was already following him on Twitter, but I don't really know who this guy is.
Yeah, he might have a following too, but I'm pretty sure George Riley Panagakis is the show there.
Yeah, that'll be neat.
So, all right, session 4. I'm going to say this was the hardest one for me to choose. I think I'm going to go see the sports gambling college professor, mostly because I find it so interesting the different ways people can carve out careers in this industry. I want to hear the kinds of questions he gets in class and just how uninformed the average student walks into his class versus how informed they are when they leave his class.
Yeah.
Like he's going to have a perspective on the under 21s that are always considered, oh, this is such a problem for the kids and all that, which I'm not saying it's not. I guess I said that kind of snarky, but
yeah, right.
But like,
we'll
what's
find you the number if you need the number
of a sports gambling journalism class? I don't know exactly what's going to go into that, but I'm curious about it. But passing on the Bet the Process podcast, that's going to be very difficult. I have a very high level of respect for Rufus Peabody and Jeff Ma.
Yeah.
So honestly, just between me, you, and this entire audience out here,
listening,
that's probably the biggest names in terms of gamblers at this event.
That's exciting. They're going to be there, and I absolutely do not think I will miss it. But I am going to say that there was another session that time, and it is titled "Go Big Without Going Broke: Scaling Your Sports Betting Empire." Now, not that I'm delusional and thinking I'm building an empire here, or maybe a media empire with our 2 listeners. But let me get the guy's name on here because this is maybe the most interesting part. And I didn't know who this was. Antonino DeRosa. There's not Antonio. It's like there's an extra N in there.
Antonino?
Yeah, DeRosa.
Antonino?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I looked him up on Twitter, started reading his tweets, following him stuff. It was interesting stuff regarding to sports. But then you just Google the guy's name, and he's previously a professional Magic the Gathering player. It's the same guy.
Wait, professional? That's a thing?
Like on a circuit, like Scott documented winnings in like 6 figures. So it's like that. This is probably a dude to shake hands and like have a chat with for sure.
You can go pro in anything.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
I thought video game playing as a career was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So Magic the Gathering.
For the record, that's a pretty cool game.
Yeah. I wish I knew where mine were. I think I gave them away when I was younger.
Like if there was one like way cooler than Pokemon, people. Way cooler.
Got to collect them all. So anyway, that's to my interest of going to this event. Like I'm trying to figure out how to scale my operation to a degree, right? So it'd probably fit the bill there. But yeah, Jeff Ma and Rufus Peabody. I'll see you guys there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to that one.
Yep.
Session 5 is another podcast for me. So yeah, come on. We're podcasters. We're probably going to go to most of the podcasts.
Yeah, for sure.
Circle back with Rob Pizzola and friends. I want to see these guys live.
Yeah.
Like I can't always tell whether they're pros or promoters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the beauty of their show is like it's a mix of both.
Yeah.
There's rec bettors and there's professional bettors and there's, media personalities and I've really started to dial in now that they do Circle Back, which is like the gambling Twitter recap. I'm really dialed into these guys' programming now. And Rob's kind of in the thick of it right now in a couple of gambling Twitter debates. He's been really open and honest about it, and it's kind of refreshing.
I think that it's just going to be fun. Like, I think they'll have a fun time talking up there, and I think we'll have fun listening.
Yeah, and shout out Rob. He was my first networking match last year, and I was extremely overwhelmed, exhausted, hungover. It was 8 a.m, and the guy totally gave me the time of day, and I was just like, yeah, I hope to see you again this year, pal.
That's his way of apologizing to you, Rob.
Yeah, so
it was his first interview ever or networking event ever at Bebash.
And like, what a huge personality to get.
Yeah.
And I'm showing up to be like, I'm Mr. Podcast.
Like, I got Steve Fezzik 8th in my now. And that's just like, folks, you're going to get matched with, if you go, these individuals. I got matched with Steve Fezzik 8th, so I got to warm into it a little bit.
Right.
And it went really well. And we ended up with an interview with him as a
awesome.
Result. So maybe this year.
Rob, if you want to come on the show, you can come on the show anytime.
We will let you come on the show. All right, our last one, session 6. For me, it was inside the player journey, understanding when and why bettors get into trouble and how we can build a smarter ecosystem. I don't know the individuals involved in this, Keith White, Kevin Winters, and Ted Hartwell. Are you familiar with those names?
I am not, but it's an intriguing title.
So look, first of all, they're talking about using data to better understand how to preserve sharp play while protecting casual bettors. And anytime we're talking consumer behavior data, I'm going to nerd out and see if I can add something to the conversation. So just given kind of my professional background, the topic speaks to me a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious because I've been wondering that. We've even done an episode in the past, who is the sports gambler in the US and that sort of thing. So I'm curious to see what kind of data is collected that is for consumption, if you will, on consumers in the world of gambling.
Yeah, for sure. On the podcast circuit, Ed Fang, the Power Rank. This is also the session that has its own wine tasting.
Yeah.
And there's also a pretty good chance I might already be at the circuit pool.
So let's ask, what time is this on Thursday? Let me see. What does it say?
Looks
3
like
to 4 p.m.
3 to 4, yeah.
3 to 4 p.m. I think if I'm most likely to miss one and it has nothing to do with the content or the people, it will be the George Riley Panagakis one because it is the last one of the day. And that's actually in the evening. That one goes from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on a Wednesday evening. So if I'm being just perfectly honest with the audience, I'm going to try to attend good majority of them. But, it's a long conference and you need a break. You take a break. If there's a session breakout where you're not really feeling one in particular, feel free to take a break from it. So that's probably the one where if I don't end up going to one, it'll be the last one on Wednesday, not Thursday.
Yeah. And I couldn't recommend this more if you're at all interested in sports betting and you have the means to go.
Yep.
If you want to know what it's like or why you would want to attend or what you might be into, hit us up.
Yeah. We've got it under our belts now. So last year we were wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. And this year we're going to walk in like we know things. All right. Are we getting excited? Anything else at Bet Bash we should discuss?
Oh, man, I'm so excited. And, maybe the most interesting part of the schedule is now the scavenger hunt has its own time slot.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, maybe we'll actually try that this year.
Yeah, we did not attempt the scavenger hunt last year at all.
But there's a serious prize. It's like thousands of bucks.
Okay. Well, then I'm definitely much more likely to do it.
Yeah. Plus EV.
I'm just excited that we are returning to the Cal. Underrated, folks. It's a quiet spot and it is literally right next door to the Circa.
Yeah, like in the parking lot.
Dirt cheap. Renovated rooms. I was beyond impressed when we actually got in the room.
I would totally stay there again.
I was a little worried.
The pool is hilarious.
The pool is, folks, you will get a video of the California's pool from us, full review.
Somebody said on Twitter, when I'm looking up the place last year, somebody said, if a prison yard had a swimming pool, this is what it would be.
There were these couple who were staying at the Cal, and for the whole week we were there, I don't think they left the Cal. Like, I think they were there the whole time. And every time I walked out to the pool, they were out there just chain smoking cigarettes. They were taking like regular like lawn chairs and just setting them in the pool and then sitting down in the chairs inside the pool.
That's about all you could do there.
There's no one else there. And the pool is the size of a big bathtub. So just give you a little sense.
All right. So we'll definitely take video and show you guys the pool bods.
Dude. Yeah, go stay at the Cal. You can pay to get into the Circle Pool, can't you?
Oh,
Even if
yeah,
you're
for
not
sure.
staying there.
For sure.
You can go use the Circle Pool right next door. It's perfect.
Yeah. And the fried spam for breakfast. Yum.
They have fried spam at the
Oh,
Cal?
yeah. 'Cause it's like a Hawaiian thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's hella Hawaiian there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Good juju to your bets.
Yeah, that's going to do it for us this week, folks. We might be back with a guest next week. Still got to see if we can make that connect between the two sides. We're in negotiations.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Good juju to your bets, everyone. We'll talk again soon.
Bye-bye.